A campaign aiming to change the face of mental health in Australia is about to go global as the powerful message is taken to the US. The Imperfectly Perfect campaign shares candid images of celebrities struggling with their mental health to show the real faces behind the public persona.
Imperfectly perfect means everyone's perfect the way they are.
And then at the end of my day, I could say in my imperfectly perfect self, how'd you do?
It's you. God is within you. The light is within you. And that is divine. And it's divine in everybody.
Perfectly perfect is, to me, life.
Oh gosh, there is no such thing as perfection.
Me, imperfectly perfect is like, it's those moments when you think it should be perfect that you stop, your head takes over, your brain gets involved, and you try to manipulate it into something that it's not.
Showing up every single day knowing that I'm gonna fall flat on my face 1, 2, 3 times during the day, getting back up.
Perfectly perfect just speaks to me because it truly just means that it's perfectly fine to not have it all figured out.
So many people, it doesn't matter how famous or what occupation they're in. It's I mean,
we're all human,
right,
and we all struggle, and I think ultimately recognizing and realizing that we're all perfectly imperfect and to be
imperfectly
okay
perfect.
I actually achieved everything that I believed would make me happy, and at the end of it I was left broken.
I suppose is the imperfection. That's what makes us unique.
I think being imperfectly perfect is beautiful.
I can just help one person by telling my story, then I've literally done my job.
Owning your imperfections.
You have to really understand what your flaws are and what your imperfections are and be okay with it, or just strive to make them
perfectly perfect. That means your differences are what makes you special.
With yourself, regardless of any imperfections.
Because before I wanted to wear that facade of perfection, and I'm not perfect.
Don't be afraid. It's not a weakness. When you acknowledge it, that's the first step to change.
But the minute I'm honest, it's me. It's my raw. That's who I am.
Understand what I've been through over the last 10 years.
I know that there's a lot of different conversations that need to be had, and the world's having some, but there are some that aren't being talked about as much as they could and should. And the narrative around mental health is one that's got to be talked about.
Means taking control of yourself in the best way possible.
It's Gerald Isaac. I just wanted to take some time and really show my support for this Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
But if you live by Dr. Zeus, you can't go wrong. And that is, today you are you. That is true within true. There is no one alive that is you within you.
I think the one thing that we all need to do is to make sure that the stigma that's attached to these kinds of issues is something that is a thing of the past.
Everything that you are in this moment, because you're exactly the way you're meant to be.
So excited about the Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
That was a pretty rough period of my life where I didn't feel like I had anyone else, and I felt very alone. And later in life, when I went through some pretty serious physical trauma, knowing what that feeling was like actually helped me a lot to not slide into that depressive state.
Accepting my own light, my love for myself.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Jeremy Jackson. I'm just taking a few minutes out of my day to send my full support to Glenn and his Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
To be a part of the Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
You know, the thing about fame magnifies what's going on in your life. It doesn't change you. It just magnifies.
The beauty is in the imperfection. I mean, that's been said a million times, right? But like, I think the parts of me that I like the best are the parts that maybe nobody sees.
You're never going to be perfect, right? There's no, and what is perfection, you know? Actually, the power is being you. That's where the power lies. So you always have to be imperfect because we're all not perfect.
Your self-compassion. So acknowledging, as Ben often says, that you're not perfect, but you're enough.
You have to first recognize that no one is perfect. And with social media, that is hard.
Being imperfectly, I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? And I show them my flaws. Spiritually, same thing.
It's like, let's put the mask on of everything's fine, where actually all of this inner turmoil is going on.
I kept on looking outside of myself for myself.
and felt this intense, incredible emptiness inside of me.
Hi, I'm Melvin Jackson Jr. 5 years ago, my father committed suicide, so I have become an advocate for mental health awareness and suicide prevention, and I support Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
Everyone, this is Nick Boyer. I just want to take this opportunity to give my full support to Glenn for his work with Imperfectly Perfect. It's such an important topic, and the message you're getting across that it's okay to speak about how you're feeling, especially if you don't feel perfect on the inside, is one that can't be said enough.
My name's Judy Thurston.
And I'm Eric Thurston.
And we are the parents of Jacob Thurston, otherwise known as Hella Sketchy, who was a recording artist on Atlantic Records. Sadly, we lost him last summer from an opioid overdose.
And we find it extremely important to talk about mental health.
Hi, I'm Zima Anderson, and I am extremely happy and grateful to be on board this campaign, Imperfectly Perfect, with Glenn.
People talk about the shadow self. And I think that, being a psychiatrist, part of training is being in your own therapy.
Mental illness is something that I think is imperative to talk about in today's society.
I'm really proud to be part of the Imperfectly Perfect campaign because for me, mental health is a personal struggle. I have my own battles with it, and I think having any kind of a platform, it would be wrong for me not to shine a light on this.
Things aren't always as they seem. So in this day and age, things are often filtered and made to appear a certain way, and that's only part of the story.
Being imperfectly perfect. I'm a big believer that not everyone is perfect. I think everyone's got flaws. Everyone has different challenges. Everyone has different pressures in life.
It's about trying your best, even if things aren't great, even if you have a bad day.
You're human, and I think, it's really, there's a lot of help out there now.
It's about recognising that I'm never going to get rid of those flaws.
5 or 6 of my friends have all been diagnosed with depression, mental health issues.
Enough. I've definitely had my down times. My close friends have had their down times, and it's really something. This campaign is really something we should all get behind.
Hi, I'm Tajali Simpson, and Imperfectly Perfect campaign is so special.
With that my whole life, no matter what success I might have had as a supposed rock star or anything.
I'm so happy to be part of this mental health campaign, Imperfectly Perfect.
At peace, knowing that I had no control over the future, and I would.
What's up, everybody? Samuel Ching here. Glenn, just want to let you know you have my full support with your Imperfectly Perfect campaign.
Mental health issues are at an all-time high, and we're losing people every day to this, and it's time that we start to talk.
That I felt that I was a burden to someone else because I felt like I had to be the strong one.
We need to get the message out there that it's not weak to speak. You need help, go and seek help. There are people out there that are willing to listen and that can help you.
I think it's important that the government starts putting funds in places where it's needed most.
And that it's okay to reach out and ask for help. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be vulnerable. And these aren't a sign of weaknesses. They're actually...
We've always got to keep reminding ourselves, talk. Look up now from your phone, connect and talk.
Good time, and it's an important time to open up the dialogue. And what I've really realised is the amount of people who kind of want to talk about this.
I actually been dealing with depression for years without even really knowing it. And it wasn't actually until recently that I discovered that I've been dealing with this my entire life.
So I really want mental health to be looked at and realize that there is a positive side to overcoming, and we're all here to help everyone.
You were told you needed to be or had to be in order to live up to this image that really doesn't exist.
One of the things that I have found is how tremendous the support network is that I have.
If you are suffering, my message is just seek help. Talk to somebody. People do care. You are needed. This world is not a better place without you.
And I just want people to know that what you're going through, even if it's depression and even if it's fear or loneliness, these are all normal parts of the human condition.
I have found anxiety to be the most crippling and debilitating thing I've ever gone through.
Look after your mates, pick up the phone, have a chat every now and then.
To feel comfortable to
speak up if they're having a shit time, reach out.
Just being aware is one thing, but what's the behavior of that consciousness? How do you actually do something about what you're noticing?
Shucks, if they were going through anything similar, they felt that they could come to me, sort of thing.
Your brain is, doesn't work in one way or another.
Imperfectly perfect means to see the beauty and the value that comes with being your most real, raw, vulnerable, extremely messy at times, and complex self.
It's something that we can manage together and we can talk about it, and it's not that big a problem if we all take the weight together.
I struggled with bulimia for over 13 years.
About mental health and why it's so important to speak up.
Being okay with hearing it.
But a lot of us don't take that time to really look after our mental health.
It's all about honoring where you're at on this journey.
And a lot of the value that I've found is simply listening to people who have gone through really difficult times and then they found a way to get through it.
Being imperfectly imperfect is this concept of just be and enjoy being.
So speak up and let's be real about mental health.
Hi, Grant Denyer here. I just wanted to thank Glenn Marsden for
your weaknesses and your flaws and your imperfections, they make you you. That's what
Being willing to show up as yourself unapologetically.
I wish there was a woman who said to me, your self-worth has absolutely nothing to do with what you look like.
Hi, I'm Julie Snook and I'm proudly part of the Imperfectly Perfect.
G'day, I'm Hugh Sheridan.
And I'm Nick Brax, and
G'day, my name's Nathan Phillips, and Imperfectly Perfect is a truth, something that
My name is AJ Rochester, and I'm
Hermione Kennedy. I am an Australian actress.
I just want to thank Glenn Marsden for...
and I'm thrilled to be a part of the
I think.
Hi, I'm Casey Burgess, and I'm extremely happy.
Hey, my name's Lucas Radovich. You might know me as Ryder from Home.
It's Rachel Newsham here.
It's Mark here.
It's Kylie here.
I'm Dan Cohen.
Lisa Osborne here.
This is Gandalf and Diana.
My name's Erin.
I'm Glenn.
Fantastic what you are doing for this campaign, Imperfectly Perfect.
Thanks so much for putting this initiative together.
We probably should spend a lot more time thinking about how we can be healthier in our minds.
Do something every single day that just makes you feel good inside. Mental illness has affected us all in some way or another.
Wonderful, and I 100% back you and support you.
It's so important that we speak about these messages, and we are so behind you in this.
Thank you for what you're doing.
We are behind you, Glenn.
We're behind you, bro. So, go hard. We're all behind you. Let's do this.
I have my days where I just want to give up, but there are times in my life where there's those moments where I'm like, okay, I can.
You're struggling with depression, maybe even having suicidal thoughts. Please know that you're not alone. There are people like myself who have dedicated their entire lives to being of help to you. Okay, so just reach out, do a little research, and know at the end of the day, I promise that you're not alone.
Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow us on social media at Imperfectly Perfect Campaign on Instagram, and join the movement at www.imperfectlyperfectcampaign.org.